Rock 108. Hey, it's Ned. You know who this is. It's Neal. What's up, Neal?
Hi, how you doing, Ned?
Good, man. Just hanging out here at Upheaval Festival. It rained a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, did you miss the rain, or have you been here for a while?
That's because we showed up. We were at Rockfest 2 days ago, and it was just dumping the whole day. It was a mud fest, but it was amazing. It was amazing.
Dude, it's been nuts, and this is the first Upheaval Festival, and when I saw you guys were on the bill, I'm like, well, I better go hang out with Neal.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was stoked that I saw you online that you were here. I was like, yes!
I drove all the way from fucking Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it over here. It's going to be great.
You're representing Rock 108, man. That's like with pride.
Dude, where there's Rock Festival, I will travel.
Yeah,
I will
it's
travel.
such a tough job, you know? It's just like, I guess I'll go to Upheaval Fest and watch Korn.
Whatever. Yeah, one of the benefits, though, is that this festival happens to be in my hometown. We are in my hometown right now.
I think I remember you telling me that, that you're from Grand Rapids. That's awesome, man.
So I have a 6-month-old, and Grandma and Grandpa are in town. So this is the most free daycare I will ever have in my life.
That's amazing. Yeah, where you actually just get to come and have some fun and be a kid again.
It's a beautiful thing, man. And I know, when you're done here, by the way, go to Mr. Burger up the road. Some legit shit, man.
Mr. Burger?
Mr. Burger, man.
Sounds amazing.
All right, so we should probably work a little bit, of course. Yeah. Upheaval Festival, hanging out here, Grand Rapids, Michigan, man. The inaugural Upheaval Festival, Royal Bliss playing tonight. I feel like we've seen each other a lot in the past couple days, which is cool. You played the Kenny Hoopman thing here in Iowa. Now we're out here. So I always like to ask this question first about post-COVID, whatever you want to call it. I mean, what's the mindset kind of going back into touring again?
Well, it's just getting used to the schedule or the lack thereof, you know, where it's like we were home last year and I could shower every day and I had clean underwear every day and things like that and not 7 guys in a traveling hallway, you know, that like Mexican food and burgers, you know. It's like I got to get used to the odor again, which is new and it changes every 15 minutes. But it's just good to get back in front of the crowd, you know. It's like the schedule and everything else, trying to get sleep and all that, but it all goes away as soon as you step on that stage and you feel the energy of a crowd that was starving for live music for, 13, 14 months. And it's the most amazing feeling. Like, you just see it in their faces and, people crying because there's live rock and roll again. It's amazing. I love it.
It was weird not doing like a rock festival all last year. I mean, we were booking them and everything was getting ready to go, and then all of a sudden it went down. But now we can kind of forget about that. We can sally forth, get things going again, and play some more, benefits, whatever it may be, as you make your way out to Iowa. So it's a beautiful thing, man. Now that we're kind of getting out of the pandemic, and we're still working hard to get through that part of well too, and still got new music flowing, whatever it may be. I was kind of hearing you talk about cover tracks over there. What were you kind of chatting about that?
Oh, so we just released a Going to California. That's a Led Zeppelin cover that we just did, and it's one of my favorites. We actually played it on Rock 108. I think it was one of the first times we ever played it on radio.
Sounds about right,
to be honest. And but man, I love it. It was one of my all-time favorite songs growing up. And every once in a while, it's fun just to kind of dive into some of those tracks that you grew up on and inspired you to play music. And it's nervous as hell. Like, I've always wanted to do that song, and it took me 23 years to have the balls to do it. But finally we did it, and I think it turned out amazing.
Isn't that kind of thing too? Like, you're playing a cover track that you grew up with and just kind of making it your own and doing whatever it may be. It kind of brings like a warm, fuzzy feeling, you know?
Oh yeah, like when I finally heard the final mix of it, it was just like, because I mean, you're so nervous. You want to pay respect to the artist that wrote it, especially Led Zeppelin. It's like, man, you can't disrespect them. And when I finally heard the final mix and master of it, it was just like, I just sat in my car and listened to it like 5 times, like, just so proud of it. And it took me back, and I hope that it took, some Led Zeppelin fans back too, and that I keep hearing from old school ones that like, that was the best rendition I've ever heard, and because I was terrified to do that song for, like I said, 23 years I wanted to do it, but I just didn't. My balls weren't big enough.
The balls weren't big enough.
Nope.
It's all right.
They grew. They've dropped a little bit.
You've become a man, Neal.
I'm a man.
No.
Woo!
So, playing all sorts of different covers, and now up here at Upheaval Festival and doing all this, getting kind of back into the whole swing of things, So, I mean, I guess in that case, after taking a break, actually a better question is, what were you doing on the COVID times, I guess?
Well, we got creative with, doing a lot of the live streaming, different things like that. We were doing almost weekly for a while there just to try to make any sort of money whatsoever, selling merchandise and giving away autographed guitars and memorabilia from music videos and things like that. But we also did an entire record. So, we probably played at least once or twice a week, even just rehearsing and practicing, just keeping up our chops.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just spent time with my family, man. We went camping. We had our motorhome, the band motorhome, sitting in my driveway just waiting. They're just like, hey, guys, I'm still here. Use me. So we got to take it out and, went fishing with my boys and camping and four-wheeling and just, it was nice. It was a good break, I think, for us because really we've been on the road for 19 years, pretty much consistently. Yeah. And so for that to get home and put some things in perspective and gave us some time to breathe and come up with some news. Yeah, exactly. Recharge and write some new songs and be inspired again.
Yeah. So where are you going camping at?
All over Utah, mainly.
All over Utah.
Yeah, Uintas. We did Uintas. We did Moab, Utah. We did. We're actually heading to Lake Powell here next week.
Sweet.
But yeah, West Desert of Utah. We just drove wherever. We just get in the motorhome and drive and set up shop.
So you have a motorhome. Now, before you got the motorhome, or obviously the band bus or whatever it may be, were you a rustic camper? Do you prefer getting into a tent, or do you want like the prime treatment with TVs and stoves and air conditioning?
So I kind of got sick of the tent camping. We did that for a long time, and still every once in a while, I wouldn't mind just throwing up a couple tents. But my boys are too big, and they're a pain in the ass in one of those little 4-seater tents, a 4-person tent, and so there's just no sleep ever involved. And I kind of like having a bed with my wife to myself and being able to shut a door. You know what I'm saying?
A little camp canoodling,
Yeah, camp canoodling. But yeah, the motorhome's great. I don't want the TVs. I always tell my kids, get off the electronics. Yeah. But to have that, comfort of being able to go in there and have a nice comfy bed and turn on the AC if you have to. Yeah. It's
especially on a sweaty night too.
Yeah, super sweaty, stinky boys in a motorhome. It's like I get that enough on the road.
All right, well, in that case, I'll ask this question because I'm a brand new father myself, about 6 months old. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any fatherly advice for me?
Oh man. It's a new experience for every single person, and it's a unique one. Every single kid is different. Right. And that's you just gotta enjoy the ride. And if you're anything like me, there's multiple times where I was like, what the hell was I thinking procreating?
Yep.
I have no idea what I'm doing here. But you just figure it out, man. And it's a hell of a ride. So just enjoy the moments that you have, especially when they're young. Every little thing, even the things that make you mad, the roller coaster of, I'm the greatest dad in the world, so what was I thinking? It's just part of the ride, man. So,
dude, I've had a couple of those what was I thinking moments of like, God, but there's so much reward. Yep. It's weird. Like, you don't realize it when she smiles at you, you're just like, I'm just so beautiful. Yep. It's so weird. So, Neal, man, it's always such a pleasure seeing you, dude. It's so good to see you, man.
Thank you,
Do you have anything you want to tell the fans real quick while we're hanging out?
We miss you guys. It's so good to be back. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at that camera. There's two cameras on us. We miss you guys, and thanks for sharing Ned with us and letting him come up to Upheaval Fest 2021. And we'll look forward to seeing you again back in Cedar Rapids or anywhere in Iowa. Thanks for keeping us alive through the pandemic, too. Much love, much respect. Rock and roll.
If you need to, Neal, you can sleep in my family room. It's fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got you a nice little bed, dude. Nice little cot. You're good to go.
Yeah, there's some interesting odors going on the bus right now, so.
Get away from the odors. Come to Ned's creepy basement.
My nose hairs are fried off. It's bad.
Neal, man, thanks so much, dude. I'll see you around.